Good morning, everybody. So today, in honor of Chronic Lyme Disease Awareness Month, I decided I would do a little bit of a short video instead of writing my Facebook posts, just because I know for me personally, when I'm like at work or if I am tired of reading, I like to get on and like listen to people talking about their stories and raising awareness about different health journeys and things like that. So first of all, hope y'all are doing well. I'm gonna keep it very real. So if I draw a blank or forget something, that's honestly how it is. My brain is sometimes like, woo, and I forget things. And that's just because of my health and how my brain sometimes works. And I honestly forget things. So if I repeat myself too, that's part of it as well. I have the issue of repeating myself apparently many times in a row or asking the same question, and I don't even remember doing it. So ask my husband. He will tell you the truth. It's very true. Okay, so first off, Lyme disease is a very controversial topic at times because not a lot of people know that can be chronic, and the CDC sometimes they will say that there isn't such a thing as chronic Lyme disease and that you just have like after effects post getting treated and cured from Lyme. I personally believe in chronic Lyme disease just because of my own health. So I've been dealing with chronic Lyme that I know of since this late summer of 2017. There was my grandfather died in June, and we got back to Indiana, I restarted working at the hospital, and I think that all the stress and trauma from that caused my health to kind of spiral out of control, which is very real because if you've been through anything stressful, your health can sometimes deteriorate. You can get sick. You just don't feel well. So I think that maybe I've had the Lyme just laying dormant for a long time, and that just all the non-sleep and all the emotional stress and everything at once just kind of caused it to say, "Hi, I'm here, nice to meet you." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm going crazy." And so yeah, so it's been a journey. So I will probably talk about that more later, but that's just kind of how it all started. And so that was just kind of what I wanted to say, because I've treated it, if it had been just Lyme and not chronic, I feel like the antibiotics, the natural way of treating, which not everybody is on board with natural treatment, and that's okay. It doesn't work for everybody, or not everybody feels like going that route, and that's fine. Everybody's journey through their health is their own personal story, and whatever you do for your health is perfectly fine, and whatever works for you is the best thing you can do for yourself. So me personally, I've done both antibiotic and natural, and they've both been wonderful. I've done some more other kinds of natural routes as well, and they all seem to be work in their own way. So I go both ways. For me, after I was treating naturally and with antibiotic treatment for several years, my health would go up and down in swings, and like relapse, be good, relapse, come back, and things like that. I think that for me, if chronic Lyme wasn't a real thing, then why would treating it with antibiotics and natural things help my body to feel better? Because if it were just symptom, like after effect, like symptoms, then why would treating it with antibiotics help those symptoms go away, if that makes sense? You know what I'm saying? If there wasn't chronic Lyme. But that's just my opinion, and each to their own, no judgment here. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinions. So then I want to talk about how another controversial topic is chronic Lyme disease and how it can affect a mother and passing it on to her baby. So that's another thing that the CDC isn't completely on board with yet. But there's a lot of women who have had children while being on antibiotics. I don't know if you can see that, but my heart rate's kind of high, 108. Just sitting here, heart's angry at me today. Josh was out biking last night, which was so wonderful. I'm so happy for him to get to do that. So I got this surge of energy, and while he was gone biking, I did all of my chores. I got home at 4:45 and just worked until 9 or 10 last night doing things. Our washer broke last Friday. So I had to wash some laundry by hand in the bathtub, which was quite fun. So I opened the bathroom window because it's actually inside the bathtub. On the wall is the window, and there was this cute little fluffy baby robin just sitting there and just like staring at me, and so it was quite fun, and it was nice having the spring breeze and fresh air. It was really pleasant. But so then I had to wring all the laundry out after I washed it and rinsed it and hang it outside on the porch rails for all the towels to dry, and then on the little clothes rack the foldable clothes rack my husband got me on the porch, so all that drip dried. Then I was just able to throw it in the dryer and fold it, and we're good. So I think that all that extra work I did yesterday is making my body like, how dare you do all of that? I'm like, oh, I feel it. I went back to bed after Joshua left for work this morning and slept till 9 and took a shower, just did a couple brief things, and I've just been sitting here on the couch. Yes, I need to go shopping. Yes, I need to make Joshua breakfast, his egg muffins, and I will get to those, but right now I'm just going to rest. Probably do mowing tomorrow with how I'm feeling today. But hey, it's all good. I'm happy with where I'm at, so it's good. Okay, rambling over. All right, back to what I was saying about, chronic Lyme and how it's controversial because the CDC doesn't actually necessarily say that it can be passed from the mother through the placenta to the baby. A lot of people agree or disagree with that. A lot of women have had different experiences. Some women who have Lyme disease, actually their health completely gets better post having a baby, and like they're completely reversed, and praise God for that. Other women though have severe relapses, which seems to be very, very common, maybe even more so. And this is regardless of them treating naturally or with antibiotics while pregnant, or it doesn't seem to matter. There's not really a consistency because a lot of women seem to have issues with their health relapsing between 2 to 5 months postpartum. And it sounds pretty bad. I know some people personally who have had minor relapses. I've personally spoken to some people who have had to treat their kids for Lyme disease because they've passed it on to their children. And the thing is, Lyme disease is so inconsistent in how it affects your body. It can cause one person to have mental health issues and to be depressed. It can cause someone else to have physical issues. And it attacks everything in the body. So, and it can change shape too, the bacteria, because it just can kind of hide itself. So your body can try and attack it one way in the antibiotics, but then you need to continually try new treatments and things. At this point, I am currently have it under control, which is wonderful. So I just have to keep like my stress low and keep doing the things I need to do to keep my health at a good way to keep the Lyme disease down. So not saying that it's gone, but at this point my body is keeping it at a point where I am pretty much non-symptomatic most of the time with the Lyme disease, and it isn't really showing up on the scans that I need to do more hardcore treatments. So what I'm doing currently is keeping it at bay, and I'm so grateful because I think Lyme disease is truly one of the worst things I've dealt with. For me, especially when it attacks like the mental health and attacks the brain, because the Lyme can get through the brain barrier through the bloodstream, and yeah, that's not fun. So it can it causes me neurological issues and like all sorts of crazy things and depression. And I don't know, I've been through so many physical things like pain. I was dealing with a lot the last few days in my legs and stuff, and like the skin just hurt to touch it, like it was bruised and everything. Weakness, which I'm still doing with weakness today, but that's just because my body is just like, ooh, I overdid it, but it's all good. I think that the mental health aspect for me with Lyme disease has been truly the worst, because even through the pain, I can still smile, and I know if I just rest, I'll be okay. But when my mental health is deteriorating from the Lyme attacking the brain, oh, it's just so miserable. I can't even like get out of the cloud of brain fog and fatigue, and the way the brain just, it's horrible. And I'm just so grateful that God has gotten me through that, because without God, I don't know how I would have gotten through that, truthfully. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. Oh yeah, also you can it hasn't been CDC approved yet, but in regards to like mothers breastfeeding their babies and how the bacteria can get through the breast milk that way too. It's a lot of unknown, a lot of controversial stuff. There's been tests like sudden infant death syndrome. There's been babies who have had autopsies done and they've come back with the Lyme bacteria that way too. And there's a lot of things out there, and I'm not saying everything is the cause for like SIDS, for instance. It's not always Lyme. It's not always the case, but there's been studies and things done. So in May 2021, Joshua and I found out we were briefly expecting for a period of time. I don't know if everybody knows that, but it was very short for the very brief time frame, and we lost the baby. And from May until that December, my mental health was horrible. And I do attribute it to it being the Lyme, which I didn't think about it at the time. But then all of a sudden I just had this moment like, wait a minute, I recognize these symptoms of how I was just so unwell and so like depressed, and nothing would get me through it. And besides the mental health, I was physically sick too from May through December, and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I was just angry, and it didn't matter what I did. And I was still naturally treating it, but then I just had this moment. I was at work at Qdoba, and I was like, wait a second. I remember these symptoms from several years ago when I had my mental health go downhill after working at the hospital. And then again, it happened when I was working at Chick-fil-A. And I was like, I remembered then, I was like, oh wait, these are the same symptoms. So I called my doctor, and she got me, it explained what was going on. She was the one treating me for the Lyme disease naturally. And I was like, I think I know what's going on. I would like to try a dose of antibiotics, because I'm pretty sure that this is a flare from losing like the baby, the hormones and everything. They say that something in the body can like be triggered, and it could have been just all the trauma from that. I don't know. But then like your Lyme can relapse and get worse. So when that happened, I got on the antibiotics, and literally like within a week, it was night and day. I was happy again. I was my old self. It's like you're lost and you can't even figure out who you are. You're just like you've disappeared almost. And that's how I had felt from May to December. So that was part of the decision how we decided that we aren't going to try for kids on our own. It was at first a hard journey, and I was angry with my health and not able to function normally. But after we spoke with our natural doctor, and she said, I highly don't recommend you guys try, because of how it can affect your body and how it can affect your baby, because the baby may not make it. My health will likely deteriorate again, and how miserable and sick I was then, it's like, how can I physically be able to help care for my baby if I'm that sick again? And I don't want to put my baby through something when there may not be an actual cure. I was angry for many years off and on about my health, but I have peace. So these posts and awareness are I don't want pity, and I don't want people to feel bad for me or feel sorry for me. I want you to know that I'm at peace. God is the author of our life and our story, and it's the truth. I've heard that phrase forever, but until I've actually learned to accept it and realize that God is fully in charge of my life, and this is what He wanted. It doesn't always make sense, but God is good, and His will is the best thing for my life. So whatever happens, even if I don't understand or it's not what I want, I know that God is in control, and that He willed it for a reason. So, my health at this point is up and down, and I'm okay with that. I'm at a point pretty much where I'm done trying to seek answers and look for things for cures and stuff. I just want to manage my health, because it's a lot of time. It's a lot of financial strain. It's a lot of everything. And I trust God, and where I'm at, I'm okay. I can manage my health, and I can enjoy my life. I can thank God. So I've had to take a step back, and I'm not able to do as much as I normally would want to do and be as busy. But it also gives me time to sit back and say, oh, I can look at the sky today, and it's beautiful. The grass is so green. Those flowers smell amazing, and it's just perfect. I thank you, Lord, for everything that you've given me. So maybe I can't go biking one day and I have to do more, like right now, just sitting on the couch while I'm resting so that I can go to the grocery store later. But that's all right. God's good and His will is perfect for my life. So yes, so I just wanted to say that I might do more of these videos down the road. I don't know yet. But yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry. I warned you guys. So yeah, I think I'm gonna probably end it with saying, I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed weekend, and that I look forward to sharing more things and videos and posts about chronic health conditions and awareness. And like I said, it's not about trying to make people feel sorry or pity me. I just want to bring awareness that everybody's going through their own journey and struggle of chronic health, disability, whatever it may be. But everybody's going through something. So maybe give everybody a little bit of extra grace and understanding. Everybody's journey is different and not everybody's comfortable at sharing it, and that's fine. But for me, I wanted to try to help people realize that, yeah, we're all going through something. And so, as always, feel free to ask questions, comments, or whatever. Love you guys. Take care. Blessings. Bye.